Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tugg Talks. My name is Tyler Tuggle, and here I'm with
Malcolm, let's get it.
guys. Welcome. And what a better way to dive in on our inaugural episode than to just dive right into the heat of it. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Top 10.
And if we're going to talk about the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, I got to be honest. If your number one quarterback is at Patrick Mahomes, what are we talking about? I feel like Stephen A says it best. You know what I'm saying? If he's not your number one quarterback, you don't deserve to talk football.
Mhm.
And based on body of work, the guy just made 3 consecutive Super Bowls. He is just the best quarterback in the league. He's been to what, 7 straight consecutive AFC Championship games?
Mm-hmm.
And all he's done is win. He sat his rookie year behind Alex Smith, and he inherited the God tier Andy Reid as a head coach.
Right.
He was absolutely gifted. But man, look at the arm talent. Look at the way that he plays the game. All he does is win. And I feel like the most important stat whenever you're talking quarterbacks in the NFL is wins, is dubs. The guy has 3 Super Bowls for a reason.
Right.
And I feel like that's the number one quarterback. What are you thinking about Malcolm?
Man, I'm thinking that Patrick may have a little battle with Lamar Jackson. And I say
Oh,
that because of not just the consecutive 7 championships, not just the you know statistical thing, but as far as just playmaking. You know what I mean? Lamar Jackson makes plays like he makes plays that a lot of quarterbacks can't make. But if I was to choose to be who's the number one quarterback, I still would. Man, I would just have to leave with Patrick. So Patrick would still be number one.
so I think we could both agree that Patrick Mahomes is just that guy,
Right.
right? And that guy is a step above the next group of guys that we have who are just battling it out for 2, 3, and 4. And
Right.
these guys on any given year, any given Sunday can take that number 2 spot.
Right.
Now, for me personally, my number 2 quarterback is Josh Allen.
Boom.
That guy, the MVP of the league, he is just an absolute freak of nature, the likes of which we've rarely seen in the NFL. And you look at the way that he plays the game, the guy just plays big. He's got arguably the biggest arm in the NFL, and Mahomes included.
Right.
But man, Josh Allen is just absolutely incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Josh. Josh is incredible. I would give Josh that same recommendation. The number two.
Yeah, I
So,
give him
so
number 2.
I would lean on him with number two. Josh Allen has been very, very dominant in his games. Good dual threat. I like the way he move, run, throw, think, how he play. Josh Allen should get more recognition than what he's getting right now. I can tell you that.
I don't
So,
think I could agree with you more,
so
man.
yeah, he's top three for sure. So, I would put him at number two.
I'm willing to listen to any this group of guys in any order between 2, 3, and 4. The order is it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson, and it's Joe Burrow. And for me personally, it's gonna be Josh Allen at number 2, and that's gonna lead me to segue into my guy Joey Burrow.
Mm.
I mean, the guy is just ice in his veins. You look at what happens when he has protection, and he's one play away from winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, if it wasn't for the dominant force that is Aaron Donald, he has Jamar Chase wide open on the seam down the sideline, and we're talking about one of the best Super Bowl games ever played.
Right.
But tell me what you're thinking, Malcolm. How you feel about that pick, man?
You're not wrong about Joe Burrow and his performance. Man, but I'm telling you, I'm more of and Joe Burrow, don't get me wrong. Old Joey makes some plays, bro. He make plays, but it's something about Lamar, man. I'm gonna have to put Lamar at 3. I'm gonna have to because I mean you got the new era, 2 back-to-back MVP. Man, he should be in that number 2 spot, number 1 spot. But I mean, how things is. I would have to stick with the new era at 3, honestly.
Can I just give a shout out to like how great the AFC quarterbacks are and the
Yeah,
top of the league?
yeah,
Like you look at the guys that we've had in here, and have we ever had so many guys that are so great in the same conference?
yes. That's why. Look, and this is not an easy decision. It's pretty hard for me to label these quarterbacks because these quarterbacks are phenomenal for sure. So I just can't. It's hard. You know what I mean? But just by going by, what I watch and the plays that's been made, these are just my decisions. You know what I mean? So,
I respect that. I respect that because Lamar Jackson is just like he is the best dual threat quarterback that the NFL's ever seen
mhm.
in a league
Yeah.
that includes guys like Mike Vick, and Steve Young and Dante Culpepper.
Mhm.
And I feel like we can both really agree that you got the top four guys that are solidified. You got
Right.
number one is Stone Cold. We all know that's Mahomes. Now,
Mhm.
we can listen to two through four if you want to mention Allen, Burrow, Jackson, those guys. We know what the conversation is. And if that's not the conversation, what conversation are you having? I
Right.
don't know if they're watching the same football that we are.
Right.
But where we start to get dicey is 5 through 10. And that's where it's an important to establish credibility.
Right.
So we know that first of all, this list is based on body of work.
Mhm.
It's not what have you done for me lately? It's what have you done, period.
Right.
We both know that the most important stat for a quarterback is wins, W's. You gotta eat them up. All right, Jameis Winston, shout out to the man, eating W's. All right.
W's.
So we know what 1 through 4 is. We got to get through 5.
Let's get it.
Now, speaking of number
Heck,
5, my guy, I'm going to Detroit. I'm going to number 16, and I'm going to Jared Goff because we're
Jared
talking
Goff.
about wins, and we're talking about all this man does is win. The only really genuinely bad year that he had was Jeff Fisher was his head coach.
Mhm.
But it doesn't matter who his head coach is. It doesn't matter who his offensive coordinators are. You look at the position that he's put Detroit in. You know, ever since that trade, and well, let's just start in LA, what he did with the Rams and Sean McVay when he got there. Shout out to Sean McVay and the job that he's done with the LA Rams.
Right.
They're incredible. They're on pace to be one of the best teams in the NFC. Shout out to them. Jared Goff has the Detroit Lions as a top 3 offense every single year.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you look at the guys and the weapons that he has around him. You know, Detroit's loaded, but are we really going to give all of the credit to these guys? We're going to give all the credit to Ben Johnson. We're going to give all the credit to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Let's show some love to Jared Goff. That man is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he's proved it time and again. You know what I'm saying? What you think, Malcolm?
He's proven everything. Like I agree about everything you're saying about him, but I'm gonna go ahead and just hand that 5th top 5 quarterback to Jalen Hurts.
Ooh.
Jalen Hurts, bro. Yes, that's me. I'm gonna give it to Jalen Hurts, man. I feel like he's proven himself. I feel like he's done a lot. A lot of people will say Saquon Barkley put the team on his back, and hey, Saquon Barkley did his thing. You know what I mean? He is one of the top running backs in the league and has passed through the league. You know what I mean? But when we talk about quarterbacks, I got to put Jalen Hurts in there. I got to. Jalen Hurts, when you're talking about carrying a team, you're talking about a quarterback has to have that main piece to get to the Super Bowl and win that. That's what Jalen Hurts did. He proved that point. Now, if he didn't, then would Jalen Hurts still be a top 5 quarterback or even a top 10 if he didn't lead them to a Super Bowl?
So I actually
You know?
am really happy that you brought up Jalen Hurts. All right. So the first thing I got to do is I got to put a pin and put in Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Jalen Hurts, man.
But I actually got to play against Jalen Hurts in high school. I played at Deer Park, and he played at Channelview. And, you know, I'm not a big dude. That man ran me over like I was nothing, and I never forgot it. But I got to follow his career from the time that he was at Alabama,
Mhm.
from when he transferred to Oklahoma.
Mhm.
And back to what I was saying a few minutes ago, the most important stats is win. The man went and won a Super Bowl. Shout out to him. So I got him in my top 10. But 5, Malcolm?
5, bro.
What are we doing?
I'm taking him 5.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not taking that out. I'm taking him 5, and I'm not taking that out. And y'all can say
Over guys like Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff and Matt Stafford
Yes.
and Jordan Love.
Stafford can be after.
After, okay. So this is where we're going to get to have
Yes.
some fun, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because putting Jalen Hurts over Jared Goff to me is asinine.
No.
Asinine. I'm going to call Stephen A. Smith on you, Malcolm.
Look, I'm talking about. See, that's why I got a different look and take out on this, because I'm looking at the plays being made and not taking your number 5 spot away. He make plays. Jake make plays. He makes his plays. He makes all the plays. But I'm saying, like, as far as what I see in my top 10, I gotta go with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
He proved the point
Respect.
last year. Like, he proved the point that I wanted him to prove last year, and I can't take that away from him. So I got to go with Jalen Hurts. I mean, that's just what it is. Top 5 at 5. You know what I mean? So
Well, everybody knows that with a list like this, somebody's getting left out. and we're gonna start digging into this.
Let's get it.
So I got Jared Goff at my number 5.
Okay.
You got Jalen Hurts. We got to dig into number 6.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh man.
Oh my God, the
Oh,
guy
man.
is just the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and like nobody gives credit enough. He won a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns, which hadn't been done since what was it, Bill Belichick in the early 90s? You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? What does their quarterback list look like right now, and how many of those guys? I think you got like 19 different guys. You got guys like Deshaun Kaiser
Yeah.
and all of these different dudes. And he didn't do it with a lot. And there was a time where, he got traded away to Carolina for a bag of chips. And what did he do? What did he do? He went to the LA Rams
Right.
on 2 days' notice. He led a 2-minute drive on a Thursday night football game and resurrected his career. And since he's been in Tampa Bay, all he's done is make the playoffs every year and win playoff games.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he beat Philadelphia in the playoffs a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And that's the guy that we're talking about right now that you got over Baker Mayfield. I can't agree with you on that one,
Man,
because
yes.
Baker, the way that he's throwing the rock right now today, he's the leading MVP candidate for a reason.
So, and I'll say this, he is, bro. Like these are, I can't say anything negative about none of these top quarterbacks at all. But it's just where I see and where I place. You know what I mean? So
I hear you. I hear you.
So let me ask you this question.
What you got?
You're a huge Texans fan.
I am. I'm diehard.
You know about
that's my team.
What you know about that?
Oh God, where are we going with this, man?
So would you choose Strauss over Baker?
That's a hard question to ask.
It's very hard, bro.
You know what? You're gonna reveal my bias real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Because if that's a hard question to ask,
That's a hard question to ask, man. I gotta come back to you on that, all right? Because I got a reason, and let me answer that question for you in a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
'Cause we gotta.
I'm expecting something for you to say something. I'm expecting him to say something.
Man, I can't
Or
let that go. You
next
know what I'm
spot.
saying?
I want to know
can't.
who his next quarterback is. But let me tell you who we are 6.
Yeah, we're at 6. We're at 6. I got Baker Mayfield. Who's your guy?
Oh man. You know what? I can't even take that away. I like Baker. Oh,
All right,
shaking Baker,
all right.
man.
So
Shaking
we
Baker. I
both
like
agree
shaking
with
Baker,
Baker
man.
Mayfield.
He's shaking Baker's way to the 6th spot, man. I like that, man. Like, and these quarterbacks, and let me say this, just because these quarterbacks that we mentioned, the top 1 through 6, man, mine changes. My top 10 changes a lot, fluctuates up, down. Everybody fluctuates. You know what I'm saying? So, but as of right now, yes, I gotta give Baker that position.
He's earned that respect.
Earned it, bro.
It's like I was talking to you about earlier today, man. Is there another guy in the NFL that's just a dog you would love to go to war with?
Right.
I mean, Baker is just like, what a guy, what a dog. He is the last man you want to get riled up, because he's gonna put boot to ass on anybody that wants to get in his face like that. And
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. So that's why I got
Absolutely.
Baker at my number 6.
Absolutely. Baker at 6. We're gonna keep that. Baker at 6.
All right. So we're gonna talk about Dak Prescott. Because I got Dak Prescott at number 7, and he's only been a solidified excellence since the time that he came into the league. And everybody wants to talk about, oh my God, he's the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. He gets so much love. There's a reason that the Dallas Cowboys are relevant, all right? And you look at what he's been doing this year, last year. He had a horrible game against Green Bay 2 years ago. I know it. You know it. The whole world knows it.
So you're putting Dak. Let me make this clear.
Yeah.
You're putting Dak over Purdy.
Oh God, yes. Not do I hesitate for a second. Mr. Game Manager himself, Brock Purdy. Oh yeah, give me Dak Prescott. Absolutely.
Okay. Dak over Jay Herbert.
Absolutely, I'm not gonna
Why is
hesitate.
that?
Ooh, all right.
Why? I want to know why.
All right. All Dak's been is consistent.
Okay.
And Justin Herbert, he's God-given worldly talent. He's got the talent to be a top 5 guy. But Justin Herbert has not proved it to me when it matters most. Legacies are made in the playoffs. And all Dak has done, good defense, bad defense, is win games. Now, he's got to get over the hump in the playoffs. And granted, I can project a little bit. Now, let me say something. I'm a Texans fan. I love to poo on the Cowboys. It's just a part of our nature. It's what we do. But I got to respect game. I love the game of football. I love the X's and O's of it. And you look at the way that he drops the ball in buckets and the
Yeah,
X's and O's part of it. He'll go win a game for you.
yeah, he will.
So, with all that being said, we're going to get right back to y'all. We're going to take a quick break, enjoy this commercial break, and we'll be right back. Thanks
Hey,
for tuning into Tugg Talks.
let's tune in, man, because I got to tell my number what, 7?
Yeah, number 7.
Come
Number
back to
7.
my number 7 because it's gonna be exciting. Check me out.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Tugg Talks. You know what we're doing. We're talking top 10 quarterbacks today. I just brought up Dak Prescott as my number 7. Malcolm, you had a lot to say about that, but I got to ask you, who's your number 7
My
quarterback in the
numbers,
NFL today?
my number 7 quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I
I
gotta
love
tell
it.
you,
Why?
because it's A-Rod, bro. Like Aaron Rodgers over his whole career, like it's been one of the top. He's been always to me. He's always been one of the top quarterbacks. Like always, it's not one year. I don't care what year it is. There has been one year I felt like he was under the radar of top 10. He's always been on the radar of top 10 with me, and just by his legacy, bro, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's like, and he's one of the last few of the few. You know what I mean?
The few.
You know what I
So
mean?
I got to give a shout out to
with,
Aaron Rodgers right now.
he's up there with Brady, Drew Brees, Brett
Peyton
Favre,
Manning,
Peyton Manning.
Montana.
Come on, man.
He's one of them ones, man. If you have a conversation about top 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, and Aaron Rodgers isn't in that conversation, I don't know what you're smoking, but it ain't right. So I got to give a shout out to Aaron Rodgers, man, because the way that that man plays the game, just his talent to throw the deep ball,
Mm.
and talk about a guy that just didn't get the defenses to help him win. If you look at him statistically, and you talk about top 10 defenses that Aaron Rodgers was able to possess, he won a Super Bowl. The only time he ever had a top 10 defense, all he did was win Super Bowls,
That's it.
win playoff games. Talk about the duels that they had with the Arizona Cardinals and Kurt Warner and the Legion of Boom with Russell Wilson and them ones. Like Aaron Rodgers, shout out to that man. And what he's doing with Pittsburgh right now is fantastic.
man.
I know he lost the Unk Bowl against Joe Flacco, and shout out to him and what he's doing. That's just absolutely magnificent.
Joe
But
Flacco,
Aaron Rodgers, what a pick, man. I
Yeah.
respect it.
Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod is one of my top quarterbacks in my book. So that's who I'm rolling with. That's who I'm sticking with. Let's go. So
So
that's
I
what we
respect it. So just to recap real quick, where 1 through 4 was all solidified.
Okay.
You had Mahomes,
Okay.
you had Allen, you had Burrow, you
Mhm.
had Jackson, you got
Yep.
Goff, you got Mayfield. I put Dak Prescott at 7.
Mhm.
You put who'd you put at 7?
I put A-Rod.
You put A-Rod at 7.
A-Rod is it.
So we got to move on. We're starting to get in the nitty gritty thick of
8,
it
9,
because this is
10.
where some names are going to start to get
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
out. I love what you said about Aaron Rodgers, and as much as I'd love to put him at 8, I'm not. I'm going to go with another guy that was in his division forever, Matthew Stafford.
I'm not taking that away from you.
Okay, we're talking about gifted throwers of the football. If you look at Matt Stafford and just his arm talent alone and based on what he was able to do, there's a reason that and toughness, let me clarify that. Matt Stafford is so tough. There's a reason that he has the longest clip in NFL films history for what he was able to do in that game where he broke his collarbone, came in on 4th down, and threw the touchdown to win the game. Even if it was a Lions-Browns game, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Matthew Stafford, what happened when he got traded to a good system, a good coach
Mm.
with a good defense
Mhm.
and good weapons around him?
Mhm.
All he did was go and beat Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. That's all he did. So for those reasons, I got Matt Stafford as my number 8 quarterback in the NFL, and he can very easily play himself up higher.
Right. Right. So for my 8, I'm gonna go with Jay Goff.
Okay, so you can put Jared Goff at 8.
I put Jared Goff at 8.
All right.
I can't put him over Brett, bro. And I'm not saying Jared ain't where he is not, where he needs to be. He's exactly where he needs to be. He's great at everything he do. I just, we'll put him at that 8 spot right now.
No, Jay Goff at 8. That's a great place to put him. I can see why you can
Yeah,
put him
man.
there. That's some of the
Yeah,
guys. I might not necessarily agree with it, but you know what? I get it. All Jared Goff does is win.
He wins.
That's all he does is win.
He
I need him to
wins.
make the big game because everybody in the NFL, if you're a fan of professional football, we're all rooting for the Detroit Lions. I remember watching them go through winless seasons.
Right.
That's when I first started to get up into football, and I was like, "Oh, who are these guys?" And they were nothing and nobody. And it happens that one of their players ends up becoming their head coach.
Yeah.
They built a culture. I love what Detroit's got going on, man. They got a lot of good things going on.
They got a bunch of great things going on. I like the D line for sure, man. So they got a lot of great things going on out there in Detroit.
Speaking of the D-line, Aiden Hutchinson, man, we'll get into pass rushers later. We got to keep it moving on these quarterbacks. So we're at 8. We're at 8. You got Jared Goff at 8.
Jared Goff.
We're going to get a little spicy at number 9. I want to hear what you got at number 9, Malcolm. We've heard a lot from me.
My number 9.
I want you to lead with number 9. Let's segue this.
My number 9 is your number 8.
Okay. Go put Matt Stafford right there.
That's Stafford.
I love it.
Matt Stafford, he's done right there.
Matt Stafford is just one of them ones, right? And I feel like we got so much to say. We could talk about Matt Stafford for the next 35 minutes. We really got going.
We.
But my number 8, I'm gonna rock with Jordan Love.
Ooh,
Jordan Love.
My goodness, man. It's just too many, bro.
And I know what I said about Dak Prescott earlier, but if you look at what Jordan Love has done, all he did was go and sit behind Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest of all time, for a couple of years. And this man decided to go into Dallas, into Jerry's house, into AT&T Stadium, and put boot to ass. And that man looks good. He could be a little erratic at times, but if you look at the way that he's able to throw the football, he's finally getting some weapons. That defense is just absolutely shaping up. Shout out to Green Bay and all the things that they got going on out there. I got Jordan Love at 9. He's one of them ones. What you think?
I think he's one of those ones, man. I would say that. But man, I gotta fit Dak in there somewhere though, bro. Oh my gosh. I'm messing up. I gotta fit my man Dak in there somewhere.
You gonna put Dak in there? You know what? I respect that. And if you look at the way that Dak is falling out this year alone, if that man had any sort of good defense, that guy, we're talking about Dak Prescott as MVP candidate number 2, right back behind Baker Mayfield right now.
Even if he had, like right now, like Dak number 1 target, Pickens, right? He has another target coming off an injury. I think the Cowboys offense is going to show something this year, bro. When everybody get on a roll, when everybody get on track, I think Dak will probably pull himself up from the top 10 to the close to the 5 at least. I don't think Dak is a terrible quarterback like everybody expect. I think the pressure is just on Dak because everybody expect the Cowboys quarterback to be a superhero, bro. And
I'm glad you said it because, man, the hardest position in all the NFL is to play quarterback. And there's no harder place to play quarterback than Dallas. Why? Because Dallas is Jerry Jones' team, and that's America's team. And they're not going away. They're the biggest brand in the NFL for a reason. And honestly, it's not particularly close no matter how many dynasties come and go. You look at the Chiefs and what they've done the last half decade, and they're just, they've been a dominant dynasty. But we don't look at them the way we look at the Cowboys. Cowboys haven't made a Super Bowl in 30 years since the Aikman days.
Right.
And they're still the number 1 brand in the league, despite 2 separate Patriots dynasties.
Right.
And he took over for Tony Romo, who I loved to hate on when I was a kid, but what a quarterback that guy was.
Yeah,
and for Dak to step up as a rookie and go 13-3 with guys like Ezekiel Elliott and them ones, they still had, like, the Dallas Cowboys are the Dallas Cowboys, and we got to put some respect on their name. I'm a Texans fan. Trust me, it hurts for me to say. And honestly, nothing makes me happier than a sad Cowboys fan after they lose in the playoffs. I love Stephen A. for those quotes. I'm going to put on a cowboy hat. I can't wait for it. But, man, Dak Prescott, I love him. I put him up there for a reason. It's because he deserves the love, and he doesn't get enough of it. And I hope the media is able to put some money on his name this year because he's killing it. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Ferguson over the middle. They got a really good O-line. They're looking good.
They're looking great. Looking good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's time.
It's time.
We got to wrap this up, man.
Got to wrap it up, man.
At least for segment 1.
Let's get it.
So let's talk.
Let's get it.
My number 10 quarterback in the league, Aaron Rodgers. He's not going away. He's not going away until he retires, man. I can't put anybody else there.
Oh my
I don't care
God.
who's playing out of their mind. I don't care Indiana Jones.
So you putting, I I can't really say, man. You put in a couple quarterbacks that need to be below Aaron Rodgers right now. We're talking about.
I'm looking at the last couple of years,
Right.
and if I'm looking at what he did with the Jets recently, Aaron Rodgers can absolutely play himself into that conversation. And as far as an all-time list, I got him number 4,
Right.
and we can go down that list another day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
got you.
as far as what's going on the last couple of years, all he did was get let down by the Packers time and again, time and again. And
That's it.
he never got a first-round receiver the entire time he was in Green Bay, even when he was sitting behind Brett Favre. And you look at what happened with the New York Jets, and that's a stain on his career. That's a stain on his resume. If he had done something with the New York Jets, then you know what? I may have him a lot higher than 10. Even with the way that he's playing out in Pittsburgh right now, he's got guys like, oh my God, DK Metcalf, an absolute freak of nature. What a man that is. He's got the best head coach, arguably, he's had his whole career. Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
Never been below 500.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going away anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited to see what he does going forward in the year. But like based on qualifications, he's never been able to win the big game except for once. And outside of that, he hasn't. What has he done? He's won a couple of MVPs, and credit where it's due. He's got arguably the most gifted arm in NFL history. Period. End of story. Nobody throws a better, prettier deep ball than Aaron Rodgers. There's a reason he has so many Hail Marys, and you'll see it on every single one of his highlight reels. But these other guys that I'm listening in front of him, I'm looking at what they've done over the last 2 to 3 years and the way that they've built cultures, the way that they're out here dogging.
Yeah.
They're out here dogging. And some people may say, how are you going to put Dak Prescott ahead of Aaron Rodgers? And you know what? It's just bottom line has been consistency. I know that he was injured a lot last year, but you look at the way that he was playing beforehand, the way that he's come back and he's been playing. Oh my God. Oh my God. So you heard my 10. You've heard what I got to say. I got to hear you, Malcolm. We got to wrap this up. What are you thinking, brother?
I'm wrapping up with J Love.
J Love. I love it. I love it.
With J Love, and that's all I'm going to say. J Love, you at 10. J Love is at 10. I can't take nothing away from J Love because he has been balling. The big talks and this whole situation is what I want to ask you, and I'm going to save this. I told you I was going to save this for later.
All right.
I know we was going to talk about CJ Stroud or somebody else, but the big battle is J Love or CJ Stroud.
So I feel like that's the conversation, and I really feel like that's what we were about to segue into, right?
Right.
So first of all, we got to give a couple of honorable mentions, and you got to understand there are tiers of NFL quarterback.
Yes.
You got Mahomes' world, and we're all living in it, right? It's just that simple. You got your second tier, your Allens, your Burrows, your Jacksons, and then they're in a tier of their own. They're your 1A. They're your 1B to Mahomes.
Right.
And then you start to get a little fishy, and you got your other group of guys. You got guys like Jared Goff.
Yeah.
You got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You got Dak Prescott.
Mm.
You got J Love. You got all of these guys. And you got guys outside the top 10 and guys that can play their way in but haven't done it yet, and they just don't have the body of work. So I want to go through a list of a couple of honorable mentions to guys because you just brought up 2 fantastic names.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, Jordan Love. I'm going to give some love to Brock Purdy. I know what you said earlier was crazy, and I can't just let that go. I got to give you some help for that one.
Man.
But man, guys like Drake May, look at the way that he's playing this year for the Patriots. He's got 5 passing yards for a reason. We're going to start having this conversation in about 6 months, and we're going to look at Drake May differently.
Yes.
What's he going to do if he goes and he competes in the AFC East? They got Mike Vrabel. They got a lot of stuff going on in New England, and I grew up a New England fan. Tom Brady is my favorite quarterback of all time. That's my dude. That's my dynasty. So, a couple of honorable mentions. Do you have anybody that you'd like to include?
I mean, we can't forget about I want to know what you're gonna think about this. Kirk Cousins. I mean, we can't forget about him, man.
No, we can't forget about him. I'm not necessarily mad at that. Kirk has been model consistency, and he's the highest paid quarterback in NFL history for a reason, with all of the different major contracts.
Yeah, we can't get Kirk Cousins out the bunch. Another one that I want to mention. Oh my gosh, was Richardson.
You're talking about Anthony Richardson?
Mhm.
Oh, no. You're fired. You're Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson can't diagnose the most simple blitz in the NFL. Now, one thing about Anthony Richardson is he is an absolute genetic freak of nature.
Exactly.
Flick of the wrist and the ball goes 75
Yes.
yards. But he can't read an NFL defense. So I got to pin you on that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back to break. We got a lot more to talk about. Stay
Disagree.
tuned, and thanks for tuning in to Tugg Talks.
Disagree, but we'll see y'all later.